M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
I'm riding with JYD, and we get to the building, and I hope this person don't mind me telling the story because it got a real bad ending to it. And the guy is my friend. His name is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Hacksaw was in Mid-South at this time. We were going to wrestle in the ring. But like I said, a lot of guys, they were into being crazy and wild and drunk. Well, Hacksaw came to the building one day drunk. I mean, so freaking drunk. It took him 10 minutes to get in the ring. So he would go to get in the ring, and they had a steps you had to climb them. So Hacksaw would go for them steps. He kept missing the step. He would go, and the fan would go, whoa. He'd back up, measure the steps again, try to climb the step. He missed the steps again. The fan would go, whoa. So this went on for about 5 minutes. Finally, the referee told me, said, jump out of the ring, Tony, and throw him in the ring. That way you can help him get in the ring. They want me to put him over. In other words, I had to lose to him, but he was so drunk. So anyway, I throw him into the ring. I throw him into the rope. I drop down. I was going to jump up. When he come off the rope, I was going to give him a clothesline. Well, when Hacksaw jump on me, he trips. And he goes out of the ring again. So we start all over again, trying to get Hacksaw back in the ring. He go for the step, he missed. And the fan would go, whoa, 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 every time he missed them steps. So finally, the referee said, Tony, go get him again. So I jump out of the ring again. I throw Hacksaw back in the ring again. The referee said, go home now. So now I pick Hacksaw up for a slam. But instead of slamming him, I fall back with him. So the referee can count me out. Hacksaw trying to get up. Stay here. Right up. He's trying to get here. He's on top of me. He's like this. He's trying to get up. Hacksaw, stay. So the referee had to do this. So finally, with the match is over. Hacksaw win the match. We get back to the dressing room. About a couple of days later, JYD come up and said, hey, Tony, you hear about Hacksaw? I said, no. What happened with Hacksaw? He said he was in a car accident. I said, oh, Lord, I sure hope he wasn't drunk. They said, yeah, but unfortunately, his girlfriend got killed. So sometimes things we do hurt others. You know, it wasn't intentionally, but, like I said, my good friend Tommy Wildfire Rich was driving one night and flipped the car over and broke my neck. Wasn't intentionally, and I don't know what happened because I wasn't in the car with Hacksaw, but I do know that later on I hear that me and him just got through wrestling that same night. When Hacksaw talked about it on Legend House, WWE Legend House, I wanted to tell my part then, but I decided maybe you should keep your mouth shut, Tony. But my condolences goes out every day to Hacksaw. I go, his ex-girlfriend. He got a beautiful wife now. He lived,
He was just cleared of cancer for the second time.
Oh, God bless him. God bless him. Yeah, poor Hacksaw. But sometimes things happen in our lives that we have to live with. And then when he told the story in Legend, right then I said, I remember that night because I wrestled you that night. I didn't want to say anything. But he had a black Trans Am. I remember wrestling that night. That was one of the things about us wrestlers, we had to party on the road. I mean, everything we did was on the road. We got 10 days off.
You felt you were indestructible, too.
With being young did that. Yeah, being a wrestler, you're right, Larry. Being a wrestler,
Big.
yeah, we big and strong.
You
You
were
could just
larger
about
than life.
larger than life. And the promoter was blown up, uh, building us up here, bigger than what we were. I remember old timer like Johnny Weaver would come up to me and say, "Hey kid, don't believe don't believe your own publicity. Don't get the big head. Don't be a prima donna." You know, they used to tell us because it's very hard, to stay humble when people are telling you every day of your life how great you are, how wonderful you
You
are.
guys were rock stars back then.
Yeah, we're just like rock stars. People look. There was only so many stations. They didn't have all the network and the TV station. You had like 4 or 5 TV stations. So you was on one of them stations. What was it? ABC, NBC, and CBS, and Public.
Yep.
But no, they had another one. They had that one. They had
Usually there was a UHF channel.
right USF channel, but it didn't have what was it? The cable, HBO.
Well, that's when
But
you had
yeah,
cable.
that came on later in December. Was HBO was the first one, and then Ted Turner came along with TBS, which was the first cable wrestling show. Back I think it was '73 or '74 when he started. But before that, you know,
everything was syndicated.
yeah, everything was syndicated. So I could wrestle in New York as a bad guy and go to Virginia and wrestle as a good guy because people never saw me. I was wrestling Bruno Sammartino down in Houston, Texas. And people was asking me, who is that? Bruno. They didn't know who he was because that TV did not go into uh, Texas area. That's why you had these different territories. Like you had the Von Erichs who ran Dallas at Fort Worth. But then you go to Houston, it's a different TV, a different talent. And the people in Houston didn't know the people in Texas, and the people in Texas, yeah.
When
I was go West Texas, go to West Texas, and you had what's his name? Doran Funk ran West Texas.
Yeah.
So you had like 3 different territories, but the TV would not go
over the line.
Right. You couldn't go from West Texas with a match from West Texas would never get seen in Dallas, and a match in Dallas would never get seen in West Texas. But
the only way we got to see, as a 50-year-old guy now, back in the 80s and the 70s, all we ever had was magazines.
Yeah.
That's the only way we learned about any place else,
that's how you
except
know
for what was on our 1-hour television a week.
That's right. But you see, getting back to Mid-South, JYD, I would say, at that time, was a bigger name, believe it or not, than Ted DiBiase.
Oh.
Believe it or not, in Mid-South, JYD was selling out everywhere you went. Everywhere you went. Ernie Ladd was the first African American booker. Bill Watts made Ernie Ladd his booker. Well, one time, I don't know what the stories are about. I'm just going to tell you what I seen. Because what happened before this, I wasn't there. I'm just going by what the other wrestlers said. There was a woman involved. I don't know. Oh, yeah, there was a woman involved. And it was between Matt Bourne and Hacksaw. I could be wrong. I think Matt Bourne dated her first. And then Hacksaw started dating her, or vice versa. Whatever the story is. You meet Hacksaw, he probably could tell you the story. Matt Bourne is no longer here to tell his half of it. But anyway, he was in the back, and they got into a fight. There was a lot of fights in Mid-South. A lot of fights in Mid-South dressing room. If me and Larry had a problem in Mid-South days, Bill Watts said, okay, you guys fight it out. But after you finish fighting, I don't want to hear no more about it. Finish it right now. So these guys got into a fight in the dressing room. And Ernie Ladd played professional football. Ernie Ladd, for those that don't know, was 6'9", 330 pounds. He was an ex-football player.
Yeah.
He had bad knees from a lot of operation on his knees from football. So Ernie going to break up the fight. So Ernie get in between them. Like they got one big hand, and Ernie had hands like this. One big hand he holding Hacksaw. The other big hand he holding
Bourne.
Matt Bourne. Yeah, Bourne. So Ernie's knees started to get weight on him. So you ever see that, like in the Witch of Oz, when you throw the water on the witch, and then she started melting down the ground. That was Ernie. Ernie was here, and all of a sudden Ernie, he's sinking like this, and Ernie go, Ernie laughed. For y'all that don't know Ernie laughed, this is how Ernie would talk. Tony Atlas, Tony Atlas, y'all come over here, Tony Atlas, and stop there two people from fighting. My knees are giving me out on me, Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas, y'all down back muscles. Y'all down muscle, Tony, help me out here. So I go in to help Ernie break him up. Finally, Hacksaw get Matt Bourne in a headlock. Hacksaw take his finger and he go for his eye. He go for eye. I grab Hacksaw's hand to pull it back because he was going to take Matt Bourne out. Wrestling would fight that way. They would maim you. They would rip your eyes out or something. So that was one fight that I witnessed in Mid-South. Another fight that I witnessed in Mid-South was between one of the hardest. Y'all look this guy up. I wish you could find tapes of him. His name was Thunderbolt Patterson.
There's tapes everywhere, Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt Patterson will electrify you on it. In fact, a lot of people say that Dusty Rhodes would have never made a quarter if he had not copied Thunderbolt gimmick. If you look at Thunderbolt and you look at Dusty Rhodes, they had the same gimmick. You know, Dusty played a cool black guy. You know, your Blue-Eyed Soul Brother. We used to call him Blue-Eyed Soul Brother. He did all the black gimmick. Did all the black moves. You know, all the fancy stuff. You know, the ass shaking. You know, everything. But it's all started before Thunderbolt. There was a guy called Bearcat Wright that started it. Then Thunderbolt started picking it up. Then Dusty Rhodes picked it up. And believe it or not, Tony Atlas picked it up. So we all imitated Thunderbolt because he had certain moves and certain things he did in the way that really electrified the audience. Well, anyway, we wrestling, and we're on an airplane, and Thunderbolt going to wrestle a guy called Tank Patton. Now, Thunderbolt was probably about 6'1", 6'2", about 250, 260 pounds at the time. But at this time, Thunderbolt had lost some weight, so he was down to probably about 235, 240, because he was 260, but he lost about 20 pounds because he just, you know, he said he moved on it at a lighter weight. Tank Patton was every bit of 350 pounds. Every bit of 6'4", 350. Tank Patton was the name. Huge, big guy. So he's in the ring wrestling Thunderbolt. Well, Thunderbolt didn't put over none of his stuff. Thunderbolt just did his thing. He just did his thing to him. So Tank Patton come back and said, Thunderbolt, you fucking nigger, you didn't sell shit for me. You didn't sell nothing for me. You fucking nigger, you. Thunderbolt said, I'm not going to be no more than them niggers now. Now, Thunderbolt had already came back to the dressing room. He was completely buck naked with flip-flops on and a towel wrapped around him when they got in a fight. Well, Thunderbolt, what a lot of people don't know, used to box. So every time he hit Tank, he cut it with his hand. Thunderbolt knew how to hit and cut you. He would cut you. Every time he hit you, he cut you. Break skin. Tank is bleeding all over his face, looked like a freaking pumpkin. Bolt beat him. Finally, Bolt knocked him down. Now, Thunderbolt smoked a lot of weed back then. Probably still do. So he was still kind of stoned. I didn't want to fight. Thunderbolt had went religion. We heard a lot of guys say Thunderbolt went religion. Thunderbolt get his Bible, sat on Tank Patton's chest, naked, with flip-flops on, and read the Bible to him. Now, before the fight is over with, I tried to break the fight up, me and Dusty Rhodes. We tried to stop Thunderbolt and Tank Patton from fighting. Bill Watts came to me and Dusty Rhodes and said, if you guys break up another fight in this dressing room, you're fired. He said, I'm going to fire you. He said, when people get ready to fight here, let them fight. And that was Bill Watts' motto. You get in a fight, you know, you finish it right there in the dressing room. And then the next day, you moved on. But JYD was a very generous generous man. He made a lot of money. I don't know how much of it he saved. Because Dog used to come in sometime, have $2,000 or $3,000 in his hand. He would sit there and we just throw it in his bag. And his bag is open. And he's sitting there looking at all that money laying around in his bag. And you always wonder, Dog, ain't you afraid somebody will take your money? I thought, nah, no, I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. Nah, I ain't worried about it. I'll whoop their ass. I'll whoop their ass. Which he probably could because a lot of people was pretty much afraid of JYD. JYD played professional football, he told me, for I think it was Green Bay. If I'm wrong and you people know what team, correct me on that. But I'm pretty sure he told me he played for Green Bay. He got kicked off the team for fighting his teammates. You said something, the Dog had a very short feud. You said something to JYD, he would tag you. Now, like I said, not putting blame on nobody. Dog, like most of us, we did a little getting high. One day, well, y'all probably saw this tape. The tape where me and Paul Orndorff had the pose down. Me and Paul Orndorff did the pose down, and Paul took the cake and threw it in my face and everything. Well, right after that tape, I was on my way to the airport. Vince McMahon Jr. came in and said, Tony, I want you to wait for JYD. He got a few more things here to do. I said, well, Vince, let me go. Please, Vince, let me go and catch my flight. Because I knew that Dog was a higher-up guy. So if he's late, nothing going to be said to him. I was on the shit list at that time. So I said, Vince, please, don't let me go. Now, the week before that, I was supposed to take a flight and go to St. Louis, the Joe Louis Arena.
Detroit,
the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. I was supposed to go to the Joe Louis Arena. I was there the month before I wrestled King Kong Bundy, and Bundy let me win. So this was the return of that match. So Vince rented JYD a Lear jet. The jet has champagne, whiskey, wine, all the hors d'oeuvres you want. The cheese, the crackers, this, none of that, and this. I mean, you would think you're riding with President Trump, the way this thing was all messed up. Nice little jet, strictly for JYD. So, Dog, me, we sitting there drinking wine and eating the food and everything. So when we get off the airplane, JYD want to get himself some gimmick, what we call nose candy back then. He said, I got to get me a little something to wake me up there, kid. Wake me up there. I said, Dog was going to be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I said, all right. So I'm sitting in the car. Dog had the limousine to go through the ghettos.
Oh, Jesus.
To the drug dealer house. We got a limousine. We're going through the ghettos, brother. In a freaking limousine.
No one noticed.
Oh, nobody going to notice. Everybody's like, people say, who in the hell is that coming through the ghettos? Coming through the project in a limousine. The car was so long, couldn't turn half of the corners. So anyway, we finally get to the building. Late. When I got there, King Kong Bundy was coming out of the ring.
Oh, shit.
I missed my match. George Wells took my place that night. The Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, you say. So, Dog did his match. Vince come to me and jumped on me. Well, I told you to take care of him. I told you to make sure that they always would put a wrestler in a position where they know that wrestler can't do nothing about it. If I'm down here, it's impossible for me to tell the guy up here what to do. It ain't going to happen. I don't care how big my arms are, how much I bench press. Dog was a main event at that time, and Vince was jobbing my black ass out. So there was not a damn thing I could do to tell JYD, no, you can't go and do this, and you can't go and do that. I couldn't do that. He wouldn't listen to me anyway. I mean, why should he? He was one of the biggest Vince big star. Vince was not doing nothing with me. So there was another time that I was with Dog, with somebody that I got in trouble. But the person that was with me, the big wig, he did not get in trouble. And I'm sure it's the same way with a lot of you people. Y'all can do something with somebody. This person a little bit higher up on the ladder, you down on the bottom. What the old saying, shit always roll downhill. So it rolled down on me all the time with that. But I love dog. I have no regret. And if I should travel with him again, I probably do the same thing with him again. Because we have fun. At that time, we look at it as having fun. We didn't see no wrong in it. We got caught. We laughed it off. Went on the next day and screwed up again.